day, first day of official practice, so it's an exciting time. It's basically our spring training, so you guys stick around, you see it's a lot of new faces, a couple familiar faces coming back, like Carlos Perez and Blake Sear and Villegas in the outfield, but all in all, it's a lot of new faces, but it's an exciting team. I think so many positions are wide open right now when we lose a guy like Yo-Yo Morales, and you lose Kafis, and you lose shortstop and right fielder and closer and two setup guys and a couple starters. It's a lot of open spots, so it just creates a lot of competition. So our practices are really game-like, game speed. I tell the guys the scoreboard's on every day, not just on game day, on practice days as well. So when they're competing for a job and playing time, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time from now to February 16th, when we put out our first starting lineup. I guarantee you it won't be the same lineup we put out to the last day in Omaha, but it'll be the first starting lineup we put out there. So it's just an exciting time right now.
Coach, you've been with this program You've been with this program for some time now, but now you're the guy, you're the head coach. How does that feel for you?
It's exciting. I mean, it's an honor, number one. It's exciting. I'm blessed to get the opportunity to lead a program that I grew up watching, following, and playing for, in a school that I went to, and most importantly, in a community that I grew up in. It's made me who I am. So it's more than anything, I'm blessed for this opportunity, and there's nothing that I want more than to give back to the community and the school, like a championship, and for everything they've given me.
It feels strange at all, kind of taking over in that role, like walk into the wrong office, like the first day or something like that?
Well, I'll be honest, the first day I stayed in my old office. I didn't do my first interview in my old office. So it took a while. I tell people I walked in and turned right for 21 years, and I think it took about a week and a half to get used to going left when I walked in there. But all in all, it's the same. Look, to me, it's the same program. It's still baseball. I started to work with pitchers and hitters, and I did a little bit of that as the pitching coach. I kind of dabbled here and there, with all aspects of the program. So. And I learned a lot under Coach Morris and DeMar. They let me do my job, and also as their assistant head coach, I was involved in a lot of decision making. A lot of things were run through me, so I kind of had a feel for a lot of the off-field things. So I feel comfortable, and I'm ready to go and take a crack at it.
J.D, you mentioned there's a lot of open positions available and things like that. But what are your impressions of this team? What you have? What you saw from the fall?
I think we have a lot of options offensively, right? We've got a lot of players that can play multiple positions. Players that can hit anywhere in the lineup. We don't have that star, I guess, like a Yo-Yo Morales and a CJ Kafis, but we do have guys that I promise you in 2 or 3 years they are going to be superstars. So again, it's exciting times, and watching those guys grow and develop and get better, not just as baseball players but as human beings. Man, it's really the most rewarding part of this whole thing. Watching these kids grow and get better in all aspects of life. So it's just a great time. It's a great time of year.
I'm sure you have a million ideas of how you want it to look and what you want it to be. How's your head spinning right now, first day?
That's the problem. I have a million ideas and a million options and a ton of combinations of what we can do. So, ultimately it's about putting the best 9 guys out there to give you the best chance to win. And Friday night might be one lineup, Saturday a different lineup, Sunday. It all depends on how things guys are going. And look, I got a lot of help. I love the staff that I put together, and the administration has allowed me to put together, right, financially and everything else. So I feel great about the guys that I've surrounded myself with. There's a lot of experience, whether it's 19 years of head coaching experience in college baseball in Cooper, or Darren Fencer that's been in pro ball for 12 years and has done everything from head coach to hitting coach to infield coordinator, base running coordinator, all those things. And then Laz Gutierrez that's been in the big league dugout for 7 years. It was a big part of the Red Sox success and World Series runs there. So I got a lot of support and a lot of guys to bounce ideas off of and to come up with the best lineup possible.
What is your sense of the strength of your team, and also what maybe the biggest question mark, of the team just as of first practice today?
The biggest question mark right now is the bullpen. And the obvious, right? Ender Walters is not with us anymore. But losing a guy like Torres and like Arteaga, those guys were really valuable innings and were important pieces of the bullpen to get the ball to Walters in the 8th and 9th inning, whatever it might be. So that to me is by far the biggest question mark. But look, when we decided to move Palmquist to the rotation, we had Walters there, and we thought he was possibly be a good star, a good closer. Never in our wildest dream did we think he was going to be who he was, right? And have the back-to-back years that he had. So there's always someone that's going to step up and take control of that role, and it's up to them. And again, all you can really ask for in life is opportunities, and there's plenty of those right now in our roster, and as far as different roles are concerned.
Strength also? I don't know if you have strengths, but you didn't...
Well, I'd say I was starting pitching right now. Anytime you get your Friday night starter back, like a Gage Zeals, it's very important. It's a huge key to your success, right? And you got Ray Schlesinger coming back, which as the year went on, last year he got better and better and better, and obviously he topped out at that last game, his last game against Texas when he went 7 scoreless. And you have two guys like that, and you bring in some older guys that, you know, the Herrick Hernandez's from Miami-Dade, that's got some experience being the #1 guy. And to me, being the #1 guy, whether it's junior college or Division II, 3, 1, whatever it is, it's a different pressure, right? A different weight that you carry. So he's got that experience of being that Friday night guy at the junior college level. And again, that's, to me, that experience of being the one guy that carries a lot of weight, you know. So same thing with Drew Dwyer coming in from Lynn. You know, he's a 24-year-old, I guess his 7th year in college. Just, I guess in our standards here with football, had 9 years, it's not that big a deal. But you know, just again, it's experience on a guy that's been the front man for Lynn University. And again, I don't care what level you're at, when you're throwing that first game of any series, a lot of weight is on your shoulders, and just the experience of carrying that weight and dealing with it, it goes a long way.
Last year, kind of Blake Sear broke out on the scene as that freshman for you guys. Are there any guys in the clubhouse right now that you're really excited about, or guys that we should know about?
Look, I think our freshman class, especially on the offensive side, is very exciting. You start with Daniel Cuvée, which is going to play somewhere in the corner of the infield. You know, but I was telling somebody just watching BP yesterday, I don't remember a freshman with more power than Daniel. You know, just in BP, I guess it's BP, but just the ability to hit the ball as far and as hard as he does, and I've been around for a long time. I played with Pat Burrow as a freshman, and when he was a freshman, and we had, you know, the Yonder Alonzos and you know, Yo-Yo Morales, all these guys are big power guys. But as a freshman coming in, I don't remember too many guys with the power that Cuvée has. You got Antonio Jimenez, which is, you know, a shortstop, which he's a guy that he makes plays on the defense that no one else on the roster can make, right? But he's a freshman, so he's got that learning curve. Jake Kulikowski in the outfield, you know, to me, I think he'll be a special bat at some point. So, you know, the future is bright there. The future is bright. And again, like we don't have those household names yet, but you're going to be very familiar with some of these guys in the near future.
And just as the season gets closer, you know, only a couple weeks away, does it start to feel more real? Like you got named the coach, you know, head coach 6 months ago, but now that the season's almost here, like is it kind of like impressing on you, like I'm gonna be the head coach at my alma mater and everything?
You know, it's something that I've laid around a bit and thought about, and it's again, it hasn't really sunk in yet, right? It's just a dream come true, and again, I can't go back. I can't express enough the opportunity that I have. I'm blessed for it, but I think that first game when you go out and do the lineup change for the first time is going to be a big deal, you know. But I'm excited, and I can't wait for it to happen.
And then are there any major injuries coming into the season that, you know, popped up in the fall or anything?
No injuries. We're actually getting 3 guys back that we lost last year. Caba's coming back. Caba and Crothers are both coming back, and they're ready to go from day one. They've been cleared by doctors. They're throwing in inner squats like everybody else. And then you got Brian Walters, which is about 2 weeks behind those guys. So I think the first time you'll see action in the game will be that 3rd week, which, you know, will be Florida. But those guys, you got to be careful and be cautious of how often you use them. Not so much, you know, when you use them, but if they throw on a Friday 2 innings, they're probably shut down for the rest of that weekend. So you got to be smart and kind of choose when and where to throw those guys. But all 3 of those guys are going to be important parts of our bullpen and rotation, possibly.
J.D., I'm sorry. Any changes, either practice structure or things that you want to do or already have done thus far? As you mentioned, you've been here for quite a bit.
I mean, structure-wise, we've tweaked a few things here or there. We've had a lot of success for a long time. You know, we're not going to reinvent the wheel here and change a whole lot of things. That's not to say we haven't changed a few things, but you know, little things like we start every day, every practice with base run. You know, that's something that is so important, scoring runs. You can't get too caught up on batting average and home runs. And at the end of the day, it's who scores the most runs is going to win the game. You know, you score more runs than the other team, you're going to win games. And base running is a way to score runs that it doesn't take, you know, the swing of the bat or the bunt or anything like that. It's taking extra bases, putting pressure on defenses where they make mistakes. So we you know, Darren's done a great job, and that's, if we preach something's important, and we show them by doing it first every day. That's the very first thing that we do before we throw a baseball, do anything else. We go out there and do base running for 10-15 minutes every single day. So that's a change that we haven't done in the past. Other than that, it's you know, baseball is baseball. It's not the groundbreaking things here, but we have tweaked a few things here and there, especially in the analytic world. Going back to our administration, they've allowed me to hire 2 guys that are just in charge of analytics, and it's a language that, you know, I understand a little bit of it, but these 2 guys are completely different spectrum of the game. So they've helped out a lot as well.
Can you expand on that with the analytics, how they're going to help, and what you envision for them this season?
Well, there's 2 aspects of it, right? Part of it is player development and making our guys better. the whole measuring with its, you know, the Track system that we have coming in. I think we're one of 5 schools in the country with a Track system, which is a markless motion capturing system to, you know, TrackMan. And we've had all these things, right? But we just haven't had the department to run it. I mean, I was in charge of running the pitching side of it, and like I said, that's a totally different language. Now we got 2 guys that, one is really focused on our player development, the other one is focused on our advanced scouting, so to speak. So he's always gonna be working a couple weeks ahead of us. So when we're playing, you know, Notre Dame this week, he's working on Louisville that we're gonna play 2 weeks from now. So when we come into the office on Tuesday morning, after a Monday off day, our script is set. We got scouting reports, we got tendencies, we got everything that we need to prepare for them. Where in the past, when myself was doing it, or the hitting coach, or whoever it was, by the time we got done with it, it was like Thursday night, you know. So we've already done our preparation, and now we gotta get ready to play the next day, and we've learned something that we didn't prepare for. So it's a big part of preparation, getting us ready for whoever we're playing.
Coach, taking this job, obviously there's a sense of pressure, so to speak. How will you kind of handle the pressure of obtaining a job? Obviously, you're an alum and you've worked here before. Like, just talk about just handling the pressure of the season.
Well, I mean, look, if you've ever worn a Hurricane uniform, whether you're a player, starter, backup, pitching coach, the pressure's there. I mean, there's expectations that are nowhere else in the country. You know, that was a question that was asked of me planning when I was going through the interview process. Are there any, you know, second thoughts or any reason why you wouldn't take the job? And of course, my answer was always no. And then my last meeting, I finally asked, what could there possibly be? And then they mentioned the pressure, the expectations. And look, this is what I love about it, right? I'm part of what created that as a player, going 4 years in a row to the College World Series, not winning any, but it's part of. I get it. That's the biggest part to me. What attracted me to this place as a player coming up when I was 18, to as a coach and now a head coach. It's what I love most, right? Without expectations, what are we doing it for? So, and those expectations are never going to change, regardless of what our results are this year or whether we're last year. Our expectations going into every season is putting up another year up in that scoreboard. We don't glorify or celebrate all our, you know, regionals appearances or super regionals. The only dates you see out there are the 4 dates we won a national championship. That's not going to change. That's the only thing that matters around here. That's our job every year.
Anything else for JD? Coach, what is it that you want Miami fans and the Miami community to know about how this new Hurricanes baseball team led under you is going to approach every single game, how they're going to play every night? What is it that you want fans to know?
They're going to get the best version of us every night. You know, I get it. Some days we'll fall short, but it won't be because of our doing. We get outplayed. If we get beat, that's going to happen. But I'm going to do my part and my best to put a team out there that's not going to beat themselves. It's not going to quit. You're going to have to beat us, and you're going to have to get all 27 outs before you beat us. You know, so regardless of what the score is, regardless of what the outcome is, you're going to get the best version of us. Coaches, staff, players, everybody that's wearing our uniform, you're going to get their best version.
Thanks, JD.
Thank you.